Good morning, everyone. Kendra McCourt with Remax 100. In today's world, finding disinfectant is kind of difficult. So I decided, since I couldn't find any more, to do some research online and find the best recipe that I could. And I figured I would share that with you. Now, there's a couple ways of doing this. But the biggest thing that we need to make sure that we remember is that the alcohol content has to at least be 70% or more. And there's two ways of getting it. The first way is with a product called Everclear or any sort of grain alcohol that is over 140 proof. So this one is 94.5%, and I found this at a local liquor store. The other way is finding rubbing alcohol. Now, you want to make sure that it's above 70% in terms of the rubbing alcohol. This is a little bit harder to find. I've had this around the house for quite some time, but these are getting harder and harder to find because rubbing alcohol can be used just straight on the counter. So again, if you're going to decide to go the alcohol route, this is for making the disinfectant spray, not for drinking, but I guess you could kind of do both. Okay, so what you want to do is we want to take the grain alcohol and we're going to use this in our mixture today. The reason we're using the grain alcohol versus the rubbing alcohol is smell. This basically has no smell to it, and this is very smelly. Reminds me of going into the doctor and getting an injection. Ooh. So by using this, we won't have that medical spray smell on the counters or the surfaces when we're done. A couple other items that we're going to use is distilled water and hydrogen peroxide. And the reason for the hydrogen peroxide is that we need a chemical that will break down the protein barrier of the virus. And so you need something acidic. One of the other options that you can use is white vinegar. The issue with white vinegar is you can't use it on granite or light surfaces. The acid in it will destroy it. So hydrogen peroxide is a little bit gentler. It's gentler on your skin. Obviously, you can use it and it breaks down into water and oxygen. And then the other option that we're going to use is we're going to use some essential oils. Now, tea tree oil gives off a nice scent, but it also has antimicrobial properties into the oil itself. Now, I got this from Mom's Market. This one, all of these actually, I think I picked up from Mom's Market. Some of them you can actually pick up from Target. They sell them in the store as well. So we're going to add this to add some antimicrobial plus to give it some decent smell, because again, by using the grain alcohol, it's really not going to have a smell. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our glass containers. Now, we are going to make this in two different batches. The first batch is going to be in a glass spray bottle, and the second batch I'm going to make is going to be in a wet wipe fashion. So again, the wet wipes are just as hard to come by. So I took a paper towel roll and I cut it in half with my butcher knife, and I'm going to take it and we're going to put the roll in here, and then it'll still have the ability to pull out one by one, just like you would with your wet wipes from Clorox. So we'll do that when we make our second batch. Okay, so to start, we're going to take our distilled water. Now, distilled water is also something that's a little bit hard to come by, and there are recipes online to make it. It's very simple. All it is steamed water. The reason you want distilled water is because it removes all the chemicals, all the minerals, and it is pure water. So we're going to take about 3 ounces of that, and we want to use glass. The biggest reason is because glass is easier to purify. So before I did any of this, I washed everything in the dishwasher, so it was completely sterilized. So we have our 3 ounces of water. We are going to put in about 30-40 drops of our oil. So this one is just kind of hard, so I just kind of go till I think I've got it all. So you're just kind of counting away there. Okay, I think that was about 30. Then I'm going to add some of my orange, which is another, citrus has another cleaning property to it. So we're going to add some orange to kind of cover up some of that tea tree, because that kind of does have a medicinal, or I guess kind of like a pine sol smell. So by adding some of the orange, I'm getting rid of some of that smell. Okay. So I'm going to take that, and I am going to go ahead now and pour that into my bottle. Try to get all of that in there. Then I'm going to take my grain alcohol, and I'm going to put 12 ounces of grain alcohol in there. And okay, so we have poured from our container of 12 ounces of Everclear. We used our funnel to put it into our container. We've taken it, we're going to give it a good shake, because you want to make sure you get it all mixed up. So every time before you use this, you just want to give it a good shake. And then you just take it and spray down your counter or your surface like you normally would. You would just wipe it down, and you're going to let it air dry. By letting it air dry is what actually then will kill the virus or microbes or germs or whatever you have. It does not leave any residue. It is clean. There is no stickiness left to it, even though we used alcohol, because we did some water with it. There is no stickiness. It's just a nice light orange scent that's left behind. And we now have a disinfected countertop or whatever service you want to use. Okay, well, I hope you guys got something out of it. Again, I'm going to link the recipes that I used into the video and email that I'm sending to you all. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a doctor. I don't work for the CDC, but I did do a lot of research, and I did research things through the CDC and NIH, and I'll have all of the links there for you if you have any questions. I hope you guys are staying safe. If I can be of any help to you or anybody you know, please let me know. Again, Kendra McCourt with Remax 100. Thanks so much, guys. Stay safe. Bye.